Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Standing Out, daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. I'm Trey Griggs, CEO and founder of Beta Consulting Group, CEO, Chief Encouragement Officer. That's what we're all about here, is encouraging others. We want to encourage you to have a great Wednesday. It is hump day, everybody. And we got a great show for you today. It's going to be an awesome day. Do me a favor. Go check us out at betaconsultinggroup.com and see how we're helping companies with their strategies, with their marketing, their branding, moving out of the realm of obscurity into becoming a household name. That's what we're all about, helping transportation companies tell their stories through podcasting, social media management, marketing, content creation, writing, all kinds of great stuff. So check it out, fill out a form, and we'd love to connect with you, see how we can help you out, help you build your brand. That's what we're all about. While you're there, you might as well grab some swag from our swag store. We got a lot of great stuff. And today, everybody, is the last day of our grand opening at the swag store. So you want to make sure that when you go to shop.betaconsultinggroup.com, pick up those water bottles, coffee mugs, t-shirts, all kinds of great stuff. Use the coupon code BETA-GO, get 30% off your entire order. And then when the swag shows up, make sure you take a picture or a video of it and send it to us. We want to see you sporting that swag. Listen, we're all about creating a community of people that are pursuing excellence every day. That's what we're all about. And so every time you look at that swag, just think about being excellent today. And we appreciate you guys supporting what we're doing here. Also want to give a shout out to our sponsor, to TAFS. They're the good guys in freight factoring. They're the ones that are keeping those tires turning, those wheels turning for our carriers out there. We appreciate them greatly. So make sure that you go to either TAFS.com, or easier than that, just click on the link that's in the comments that Ruth or Morgan is going to put in there today. That's going to take you directly to my landing page with them, so they know that I sent you. Listen, hey, we want credit, people. So make sure you click on that link. Go check out TAFS. They're the good guys in freight factoring, and get started with them today. Just click on that link. Okay, listen, we've had a great week of shows, a phenomenal lineup this week, and every week pretty much. I mean, let's just be honest about it. Started out this week with my good friend Nicole Glenn. Great show. Yesterday, we talked to Mark Dirks. He's the president of the TMSA and the chief marketing officer of Blue Grace. Awesome conversation about marketing and the value in transportation. Today, my good friend Chris Woods is going to be on the show. We'll talk to him in a minute, from Sims Global. Tomorrow, my good friend Raquel Packets, who not only runs Zen Freight Solutions, but she's got a new podcast called Trucker Talks Live, which is awesome. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to round out the week on Friday, finish strong Friday, with my good friend Shauna Stuckout. She's awesome. She's a keynote speaker, and she's going to light it up. You guys are going to absolutely love it. But listen, let's not wait any longer. Let's get our guest on today. Going to have a great conversation. I've known this guy for a long time. Met him back, several companies ago for both of us. But just known this guy for a long time. Mad respect for him and what he's doing, and looking forward to the conversation today. Actually had a chance to work with him at a company for a while, and had a great time with that. So everybody, please welcome to the show, from Sims Global Logistics, my good friend, Chris Woods. Chris, what's up, man? How are you?
Trey, what's up, buddy? How are you getting along?
Man, it is good to have you on the show, man. It's been way too long, man. Too long.
Represent
Kansas City.
How long was that drive? Was it 5:20, 5:30?
Which one?
The one at the beginning of the show.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even track it. I just know it was nutted. It was, but for me, that means like 270. Not quite that far. We need to ramp up the simulator modules of posted elevation or something like that. But hey, man, listen, let's start off with this. Take a quick 30 seconds for people who may not know who you are, and talk a little bit about yourself and about what's happening over at Sims Global.
Okay. Chris Woods just turned 45, believe it or not. You got the glasses now for the readers to actually see things. But I've been in the business for probably 22 years now. I've been right here at Sims Global for the last going on 3 years. And it's been an exciting journey to jump aboard this company, to see the growth and see the vision of the ownership and where we want to go. And honestly, it's been a lifelong journey, really, if you think about it, coming from several different companies. And you and I, like you mentioned, worked together a couple companies back. So the things that we're doing is I feel like it's unprecedented in terms of how we treat our clients, how we build on our technology stack and invest into the company. And it's just a great venture so far.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for you and what you're getting to do there. And like you said, we've had several stops along the way. One of those we got to actually be together, go have lunch, go have our Olive Garden lunches and stuff like that, which is great. But had a journey through that. I can tell you this from my experience. And I think you would agree with this, man. Every one of those steps along the way led me to where I am today. I think you'd probably agree with that. You know, you've had chances to lead organizations, to support organizations, different roles, different organizations. And, you know, how has that experience led up to where you are today and really impacted what you're doing?
You know, I was thinking about that not too long ago, and, you know, everything happens for a purpose. Every stop, every person you meet happens for a purpose. And about 5 years ago, I read a book, by Hurst and Fish called The Faith of Leap. It's a book about embracing the theology of risk. And so each time that you have an opportunity in your life to take those risks, it's not about, you know, what could happen, but it's a lot about what is going to happen, right? So the journey of the different stops is one of those exciting chapters, right? Each stop had its own chapter, and so you get to be a part of that chapter. You get to write that chapter, and it can go either way. It's just and how you embrace it.
Yeah, and I haven't read that book, but I would say that there's got to be a big part of that book that talks about just being willing to take the next step. You don't have to know all the steps that are coming, but being willing to take the next one and not being afraid of that. You know, I've talked about that a lot with my good friend Chris Horton, who's starting a podcast next week about next steps with DJ Flores. And the concept that, you know, don't be afraid to take the next step, because whether it works out the way you want it to, the way you think it should, or whether it works out a different way, it's a chance to learn, and it's preparing you for whatever is to come. You know, I will tell you this real quick. My mom will tell you that she regrets not taking those next steps in her career. Looking back, you know, she's now 77 years old, can't change it. And I think that the lesson here is we typically don't regret in life the things we do. We typically regret the things we don't do. Absolutely. That we let fear hold us back from doing that. And so I love your story, man. Love your journey, and just enjoyed watching along the way. Man, it's been a long time since, when did we first meet? Where were you?
First time we met, I was about that too. The first time we met, I was with TA Logistics, sister company.
That's right. And it was at McLeod, I think.
We were at the McLeod show.
McLeod User Conference. That's right.
You were working for DAT at the time, and I walk around the corner. We started chatting and found out that you're an old Kansas City boy, and
that's right.
The rest is history.
That's right. That's been a long time, man. Well, it's been an awesome journey, just watching, you know, you grow and watching you do what you do and do that. And of course, being from Kansas City, I mean, we got to take a moment and pause and talk about our Kansas City Chiefs. We got week 1 starting this week. Yes. We got Patty Mahomes. I mean, guys, just phenomenal. I'll tell you what, you've been at Kansas City and as long as I have, and you remember those days of like 2-14, 1-15 days where it was brutal.
I remember.
It's nice to be on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And it's nice to say to people, yeah, we're going to go 13-4 minimum, and going back to the AFC Championship game minimum, like that's standard now.
Right.
It's nice to have that. We have never had that before, but it says something about the culture of the team. And there's a lot of parallels to business with that. You know, it's like they have a good system in place. They've got good leadership in place. They have good players in place. And when you have that combination of system, leadership, and players, you can do some really great things.
Right. And to be honest with you, that's exactly where we're at with Sims Global. The Chiefs are killing it. I feel like they've got a better wide receiver staff. And that's exactly
crazy.
Exactly. I mean, losing Tyreek Hill is one of those things that you look back and go, man, but what we have done to rebuild is exactly what we're doing here at Sims Global. Our operations staff is the best receiver staff there is. So if you think about it, you know, your sales staff is out there hunting and they're driving and they're bringing on business, and you got to have the operations staff to be able to handle that. And so here at Sims, what we kind of strive to is be responsive, be customer centric, and be able to service the entire platform of our services. So it's exciting to see the Chiefs, and it's exciting to be right there alongside them.
This whole show could literally be a parallel of what's happening with the Chiefs, maybe what's happening in business or at the Sims Global for sure. And I think about this a lot too. What's up, Danny? Thanks for joining the show, man. Happy Wednesday, buddy. But you know, when you think about like, I say this all the time, Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, right? He's got incredible talent. He's really smart. But there's a lot of guys that came out of college in the same year that he was there, or the year before, the year after. I'm thinking of like a Sam Darnold and some other quarterbacks that came out, Justin Herbert, really good quarterbacks that haven't had the same success that he has had. And I can't help but think that the organization, the system that he's in is conducive to him being successful.
Mhm.
And, when you think about that from a sales perspective in particular, and I think about this a lot, you take a really good salesperson and you put them in an average or below average system from a sales perspective, sales processes, automation, the different tools that are there, and the structures and the journey that a customer is going to go on. You put them in a subpar system, they're going to be frustrated. They're not going to be as productive. They might get burnt out. They might spend their time trying to build the structure that they're not being paid to do. They're being paid to sell. So I think that there's a lot to be said about, from a business perspective, not only going out to get the best talent you can, but making sure that you have the best system, the best processes in place to make sure that talent has the best opportunity to achieve, to thrive, to succeed. What have you seen in your experience, throughout the ages, throughout the different businesses that you've been in, where that's played a huge role in what you're doing now?
I will have to say, your technology, right? There's two pieces of culture. I feel like there's your culture of your work environment. You're excited to come to work. You're excited to be here, and we've built that, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But when you talk about the technology stack that you build around or invest in for your people to succeed, is the key in this business right now, because it's ever evolving and there's always something new coming out. There's always something that's providing the best AI tools, and being able to jump into that and create an entire enterprise platform for your team to succeed in. That's exactly what the Chiefs are done. And it's happy to be right there beside them. So when you build that culture, you want to give the employee the right tools, the right fit, the right structure, the right everything. So you're looking at, if you come to our new facility, we have an amazing workout facility. Absolutely. I can't wait to see you. We have a Starbucks coffee maker right here in the office, free to all the employees. We have our warehouse piece here that we can talk about later. But at the end of the day, it's all about building the culture and everybody buying into that culture.
Yeah, and to go back to the Chiefs analogy, it starts at the top.
Yes.
So you've got, Lamar Hunt started the Chiefs. Now I think it's Clark Hunt. Is that right? I get the name right. I think it's Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you hear him talk about the team and about the players, you can tell he has a genuine care and concern and compassion for his team, and that filters down throughout the organization. And that's true in business too. I've seen, unfortunately, companies that have leaders that are really more self-centered, more self-seeking, more maybe that alpha male or alpha toxic kind of a leader. And it just filters throughout, because the managers think that's how you're supposed to act, and it just filters throughout. But when your leadership at the top is strong, it filters throughout the organization, and that's critical too. And I want to ask you about this question too. Having been at several places, and some better than others, we've all been to different places. How critical was it for you coming to Sims a couple of years ago, 3 years ago? How critical was it for you in that time to find a leader that you wanted to follow?
Well, there's several leaders out there that I've kind of followed in my career. The ownership of this company is amazing. Ted Sims, we are a one owner, one organization. He has done a fantastic job putting this thing in place. And if you look at the way Andy Reid managed his team, you can almost say that Ted Sims manages the same way. He has built an amazing foundation with this company. And when he brought me in, we were ready to start scaling for growth. Now, I'm not going to be saying that everything was perfect. I'm not going to say that everything's perfect now. There's always room for improvement. But to set the table is exactly where we've been at. And so, the model that he had in place here is fantastic. And what we're going to be doing for the future is going to be going astronomical.
I love it. Love to hear that. And there's so many other good leaders. And we had the chance to work for Kevin Childress, who unfortunately, rest in peace, is no longer with us, but he was awesome. And Wayne Hour, Mike Shaw, some of those guys over at Port Team, that's my favorite world, and a lot of other good leaders as well. But it's so critical to find great leaders. Tyler, what's up, man? Go Chiefs. That's right. Thanks for watching the show today. That's right. Go Chiefs. Okay, so we're going to pause for a second here, because we've got some new segments on the show that I want to talk about, some fun things that we do. First of all, a couple things. Did you know it's National South Carolina Day, which we're not going to highlight that one, but it is National South Carolina Day. I didn't know this. Every state has a national day. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I know. Learned something new today. So shout out to our South Carolinians out there. Hope you enjoy your national day. It's the day that they enter the union, I think, is when they do it. Although it's kind of probably weird for the first 13, because some of them enter the same day or really close. Missouri's is January 4th. Kansas, not so sure. Not sure about theirs. But that's not the day we're going to focus on. Did you also know that it is National Trail Mix Day?
I did not.
National Trail Mix Day. Are you a trail mix lover?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Okay. What goes in your trail mix?
You got to have the cashews. You got to have the M&Ms. You got to have the raisins, and you got to have the peanuts.
No chocolate. Okay.
Well, that's where the M&Ms come from.
Oh, you said M&Ms. Sorry, I missed that. Okay, yeah. So you got the chocolate. That's a nice mix. A salty, sweet mix. Yep. Do you put anything spicy in it? Are you a spicy trail mix?
I really have a spicy trail mix. No.
No, not too much. Yeah, I like a little spicy. So sometimes if they take like the cashew or something and put a spicy kind of roast on it, that could be pretty good as well. But yeah, that's great. I like the yogurt and fruit ones as well, like dried fruit. Like mango, raisin, maybe the yogurt, whatever.
Right.
Those are pretty good as well. But trail mix is kind of a can't miss. I mean, you get a good trail mix, it can be good anywhere. It can be good in a backpack, it can be good on a plane, you give it a game. It's a good thing. So yeah, National Trail Mix Day today. I don't know. We just throw that out there just because
Happy Trail Mix Day.
Hey, those of you watching the comments, tell us what goes in your trail mix. Love to hear if there's some unique things out there that you put in your trail mix. That'll be good. Also, we got another segment called the Random Question Today. We're going to throw that one out real quick before we dig back into business and leadership. So this is a question I haven't seen before, by the way. So here's what it is. What's your number one karaoke song? Are you a karaoke guy?
It's been a while since I've done karaoke, actually.
But you do. Okay, I like it.
I've done karaoke. Let's see. The last song I did karaoke was "What I've Got" by Sublime.
Oh, that's a good one. You know what? I've never karaoke a Sublime song before. I need to think twice about that. Maybe a little 311 or Rage Against the Machine. How would it look if somebody goes up there and does a Rage Against the Machine karaoke song? I think that'd be pretty epic. I may have to do that one next time. So I don't know if I have go-to songs, but I've karaoke'd some Harry Connick stuff because sometimes I like to sing more of the big band like Harry Connick stuff. Tim McGraw, a little country. So there's some songs in there as well. But I'm thinking that I've been missing it. I've been getting it all wrong this whole time. I'm thinking I may need to go like 90s alternative rock.
There you go.
For the karaoke from now on. That'd be the place to go to do that. So how long has it been since you karaoke?
I bet it's been 15, 20 years.
We got to change that. Listen, I'm going to be in town here at the end of the month. We may have to, end of September. We may have to make that happen. That's going to have to be a part. We'll create some content out of this, my friend. I'm gonna videotape this and put it up on LinkedIn for everybody to see, which would be good. Going back to the trail mix thing. So Ruth says Costco trail mix all the way. Costco does make some really good trail mix.
They do.
I will say that. And Chris Mayberry, what's up? He's a part of our Iron Minds team, going to be in the Tough Mudder down in Dallas in October. A little habanero spicy peanuts mixed in. I like it, Chris. That's what I'm talking about. Also, Chris says dried cherries, cranberries, raisins, almonds, peanuts. Ooh. The dark chocolate. I think I like the dark chocolate more than the M&Ms, although if M&Ms are in there, I'll definitely take that. So appreciate you guys jumping in on that. So that's our national day of the year and our random question segment of the show. All right. So Chris, let's jump back in and talk a little bit about from a sales and marketing perspective. When you came to Sims, it's a family company and working to get the name out there. You guys built a new facility. Talk a little bit about how you guys have utilized marketing to help on the recruiting side, to help on the customer acquisition side, and now with employees kind of having options, the retention side of things.
Mm-hmm. We're actually going into a new marketing strategy here. We're adding a new marketing person. She's going to be coming on pretty quickly, and working through our Zoho platform to build email campaigns, sales videos, and really work towards our virtual marketing. We have done a lot of radio ads. Ted Sims is a big K-Stater, so we do a lot of radio ads around K-State football, and it's generated quite a bit of our ag features. And then in our sales efforts, I'll say that we have a wide open platform for our sales. In the last probably 2 years, we've really been structuring our operations to gear up for a massive growth strategy. And so, like I said, the table is set. And we are a blank canvas for a sales rep. And so we're strategically recruiting new sales agents, new corporate sales reps, and possibly new standalone agents out there amongst the U.S. that just kind of run their own business.
Nice. That's great. I'm looking forward to seeing kind of the new stuff that you guys will be doing. But I want to go back and talk about one thing you said real quick. You said radio ads.
Yes.
That's something not a lot of people do, but you guys are in ag, right? So talk a little bit about like what you guys do with that and why it works.
Well, it's just out there in the K-State market, if you want to say Western Kansas, which is really kind of where our company, kind of got its start. We have I'm going to seg off about that a little bit, but we have a term in our company called "Grab the Bull by the Horns." Matter of fact, we just started an award for BBH, Bull by the Horns Award, and it's for anybody in our operations that goes above and beyond and tackles a task and grabs the bull by the horns, do whatever it takes to get it done and achieve ultimate success, right? And so going back to that radio ad, why is that so successful? Because honestly, we're a Midwestern Kansas company who has an entire venue that just concentrates on agriculture and moving agriculture freight. And it's been a really good hit.
Right. And this is why it's so big. So when we talk about standing out, because we talk about this a lot, it is so critical to know your audience and to know where they live. And if you're talking about ag in Western Kansas, what are they doing all day? They're driving trucks around and they're listening to the radio.
Exactly.
Right? They're probably not on their phones that much. They might even have cell signal. I don't know about you out there, but if you've driven through Western Kansas, there's not much cell signal out there, right? I mean, there's not a lot. So radio is still powerful. And I think that's the critical thing. If you want to stand out in whatever you're doing and reach your audience wherever they are, it is so critical to know where they are, to know where they live. Are they living on LinkedIn, or are they listening to radio all day? Are they listening to podcasts? Are they on Facebook? Where are they? And when you have that, you tap into that, it makes a big difference. So I think that's cool that you guys still do that, and probably it's pretty unique. I don't think there's a lot of companies that are using radio now. And so it actually probably does stand out.
Exactly. And not only on top of that a lot of companies aren't doing, it's handwritten notes. We're taking the extra mile to stop. Any new customer that comes on board, they receive a handwritten note from us, just thanking them for their business.
Yeah, I love that. That's something I need to do more of, because I just got a handwritten note from a vendor a while back, and it stood out. It was amazing. Yeah. Like, it's just something small that you really don't see anymore. I mean, you might see an email thank you or something like that. But that was a really big thing that helped that person stand out. For us, we've talked about, we have a swag store now. So we could just send somebody some swag and say thank you through that as well. So there's different ways you can do that. But I think it's just important to find the things that stand out. And it's kind of funny. A handwritten note, just kind of turning the clock back, is something that, it really does stand out now if you do that. Take the time to do that, because people just don't do that anymore. So exactly. I bet handwriting has gone down the drain overall because nobody writes anymore.
Yeah, I'm not the one that writes them. I'm too sloppy.
Yeah, I had to write something for my daughter for school the other day, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is horrible." It's not good. I used to take a lot of pride in that, but not so much anymore, which is good. All right, so let's change gears for just a minute. I want to jump back into the leadership training and talk about that, because I think that's so critical. Okay. A lot of companies struggle when it comes to developing leaders in their company and helping the people on their team get what they want in life, helping them grow to become what philosophy do you guys take at Sims Global in terms of, training your team up and giving them, not only training of the skills for the job, but also helping them become leaders within your organization?
Right. So one of the things that we've restructured our operations is in teams, right? So we have different verticals of our business, and from either small pack to LTL to truckload to oversized and Department of Defense. There's so many different virtues and venues that we work in, and each time one of these sectors grow, we're finding the next leader to start the next team. And so we want to give each and every one of our employees a path to grow in their career. And even if they want to take an operations role and move it into a sales role, and then start an entire team that direction. That it is so important these days to give an employee a sense of purpose, a sense of culture, and a sense of growth in their own field.
Yeah, I think it's critical. When I think about intentional leadership, my friend, Jason Lippert over at Lippert Components, he does this better than so many people. It's just amazing. So if you're not following him, follow him for sure. Definitely. But what he does is they have a really critical or intentional path forward of identifying a future leader based on certain skills, inviting them into leadership, intentionally saying, hey, we see leadership in you. We'd like for you to consider becoming a part of our leadership training program. Then they have an intense training program where they've literally have hired people that their entire job is developing leaders. That's all they do all day. And then they place them and then into a leadership position, and then they mentor them through that position. And taking those 5 steps really is their intentional aspect of developing new leaders. And any company that wants to scale, the hardest part of scaling is leadership. Right. Because if you go too fast, sometimes these things fall through the cracks, and then you end up with poorly prepared leaders. you know, in positions that they're really not ready for. They don't have the support to be all that they can be. I love to hear the fact that you guys have taken that seriously. You're like, you know what, we're going to make this a priority. We're going to help people grow in leadership. And that's powerful. What's been the response? Like when you go to somebody and you say, hey, we have an opportunity for you to lead, what's the response like?
It's rewarding, right? I mean, they recognize that we recognize their skill sets. And so there's always that joy in their voice. There's always that giddy up in their step that now they're bought in, right? If they weren't bought in before, now they're really bought in, and they become a part owner of what we're trying to create here. And so that's exciting to see. It's exciting for them to work until the job is done, because at the end of the day, logistics doesn't stop, right? And so you'll see our leaderships here for till 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, making sure the job gets done. It's just that sense of ownership now that they have.
Yeah, and that's huge whenever you can kind of get that buy-in, get that figured out. Let me ask you this question. When you're looking at somebody as a potential leader, what do you value more, their skills in the job or their attitude?
Out of those two, attitude, absolutely attitude. It's got to be a grab the bull by the horns attitude, right? I mean, when somebody sends you an email, we have another philosophy in our company that if you send an email to our company requesting a quote, requesting something, you have 5 minutes to respond, 30 minutes to resolve. And so when we grab the bull by the horns, that's the type of leader that we want in our organization.
Yeah, I think that's so critical. This happens all the times in sales organizations. You see it all the time. The highest performing salesperson often gets the leadership position, but they don't necessarily have the right attitude for leadership.
Right.
The servant leadership, like to help everybody else out. The reason they're the high performers because they're maybe selfish, which is not a bad quality in sales necessarily for high performance, but it's not a great quality for sales leadership. And so sometimes your second or third best salesperson might be your best sales leader because they have the right attitude, even though they might not be the top performer. And I think whenever you focus on attitude over skills necessarily, I think you always win because the skills can be taught, but the attitude is pretty hard to teach. It's pretty hard to change that, you know, once it's ingrained.
It's a great trait to have.
It's very, it's interesting to kind of go that route. All right, so let's talk about this new building. I want to briefly touch on this. We're getting close to 30 minutes. I want to briefly touch on this. So you guys built a new facility. Some companies have decided to go completely remote. Yep. Other companies have decided to, you know, come back to the office. You guys are definitely in that pool. How critical has it been to create an office space, an environment that people actually want to come to?
Well, you hit the nail on the head there. You're competing with working from home atmosphere, right? And so when Ted Sims built this facility, he built this facility with the employee in mind. I mean, like I said earlier, we have a full Starbucks coffee machine here at the office, any type of coffee that you would like, the full workout facility. There's people working out all parts of the day on their breaks, and it's beautiful. I can't wait for you to see it. We have
I'm looking forward to it.
To hang out on. And then on top of that, we also have a warehouse facility for fulfillment. It's called Low Mode Warehouse and Fulfillment, and it's an exciting venture of our business. Then we have another 6 acres to the north of us that we're going to be adding another warehouse for. So this facility is to attract and to bring in the employee who wants to collaborate, who wants to rub elbows and just really get the job done, right?
Yeah, and let's be honest, there's no right or wrong way here. Some businesses work from home, you know, it's great. Some businesses have an office space, and that's great. But I think no matter what you do, you've got to cater to what's going to be intrinsically desirable for your team member, you know, for your employee. And I can't wait to see it. We're going to do an episode of Iron Minds from the workout facility. So looking forward to that. And then I'll be coming live for Standing Out that day. Yeah, so better get up and join me at 6 a.m. there.
I'll be there.
It'll be a lot of fun. We'll have a great time with that. And I'll do a live recording from there. It'll be awesome. But, you know, I was thinking we might also want to create a little content just to talk about, hey, if you're going to have an office, make it good. You know, I don't think the days of just having an office and expecting people to show up are gone for at least a while. Maybe they'll come back, but for a while. So if you're going to have an office space right now, make it good. I know that like Molo in Chicago, they got a basketball court in a skyrise building. It's downtown Chicago.
Awesome.
I mean, I haven't been there yet, but I saw it. It's like crazy. So you got to think outside of the box. And as Chris Mayberry said, you know, have a really great setup.
Exactly.
And make it someplace that people want to be. So I can't wait to see it, man. I'm looking forward to that. And man, I really appreciate you being on the show today. It's great to catch up. It's been way too long, man. I can't wait to see you in 3 or 4 weeks.
No kidding. Let's get a golf game in.
Exactly. Make sure you come back and see us real soon. We'll do that. And everybody watching, thanks for being in the comments and filling us in on what you love about trail mix and all kinds of good stuff. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Can't wait for that episode with my good friend, Raquel Packets of Zen Freight Solutions. We're going to be talking about her new podcast and all kinds of great stuff. So make sure you come back to join us tomorrow and every day for an episode of Standing Out, a daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. Chris, thanks, man. We'll talk to you soon, bud.
Great to see you, Trey.